Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Spintwist podcast. I'm your host, Jay from Spintwist Videos. Today, I'm joined with my cousin and great friendo with a beard, Spencer, aka Penja.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
And then there's Meeko, dude.
And then there's also this dude named Meeko, aka Kinker Maine.
That's the one.
Yeah, little kank here and there.
We're missing our fourth member today. His name is Daniel,
Jap.
aka
Oh, I'm sorry.
and he's in Indonesia doing Indonesian things, and yeah.
Yep.
All right. So our first topic that we have written down here is memes.
Memes.
All right, can we just go off, or should I?
What
is
about
a
memes,
meme?
Meeko? What about memes?
Who is
Well, I wanted to go into like memes and how it represents like our culture, our millennial culture, dude. Like,
Okay.
why don't you? let's just-
So like, okay, I know. Yeah. So like, how it affects us,
yeah,
kind of on the day to day, like how it changes.
Yeah.
How we represent ourselves, I guess, because it does. Like memes, like they've actually changed so much, and I don't think we actually realize how much they've just. The internet has created just a whole new way for us to communicate with these kind of jokes, and it's
I love how the word meme has just become like what is it? It basically means the same thing as a joke.
yeah,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
is
I mean,
that word I'm thinking of? It means the
or
same
even that meme is a meme itself, like the word meme.
thing. Meme is a meme.
Yeah.
Yeah. They become like homophones. Homophones?
Well, like, and it's like I feel
Singers.
it's a different step too between like our parents and us, because
Yeah.
like my parents are like, hey, look at this meme that I saw like 20 years
12,
ago, dude."
12 minutes. 12 years ago, yeah.
And it's like, mom, dude, come on. And then like
that's how you
Cody
know the
and
meme
our
is dead.
group, yeah, and
Yeah, that's how
our
you know
group
it-
is like so, like that's like what we do like all day almost is
Mhm.
just sit and check out memes and send them to each other, dude.
I got
Like
that.
Monte.
Yeah.
That's our whole conversation is with one of my friends. It's just about memes.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
all. That's our friendship, dude.
It's true, yeah. It's constant joking that's been completely altered by the internet. And
Yeah.
it's like it's basically all of our conversations. I don't know if this happens with many of you guys, but like with all of our conversations that we have, it's just all revolved around memes and internet. I can't think of the word here. Internet language, I guess it's kind of been
Lingo.
forced. That's kind of been internet lingo. Actually, that was the word too. That's been actually like put into our culture. Like that's actually like a big part of our culture nowadays, and it's kind of weird to think about.
Yeah. Like I
And it's
feel
kind of
like
funny too. Like you're like our culture memes. It's memes. You know, it's
hey, you
I
know
don't
those
it's-
millennials memes, dude.
yeah, for real.
Kind of depressing, honestly.
That's true.
I
It
don't
is.
know, dude. Well, like
I think it's. I mean, I don't know. It's just everything's changing. It's changing.
maybe it could be like our own clique too. That's kind of like it. Like if you think
Yeah,
like last
that's
year
true.
or last generation, it was like football, right?
Yeah,
But that
that's
like
true, I
not
guess.
everyone was playing football, but everyone knew about football and like they all like had their like favorite position and how they played it. It's just
Yeah, that's true.
and I feel like that's just a big thing that it does for us. What do you think it represents? Does it say like we're weaker or we're
I don't. No, I think it just
What you
kind of
think?
brings a sense of humor to our culture. I think. I don't really think it
generation?
represents. Yeah, I don't think it really represents us as who we are. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't mean we're stupid.
yeah.
I mean, it just brings us a kind of like funny sense to it.
I think it's
in a
like
way.
our weird way of like getting through things in a weird way. You know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
it's-
Like
yeah.
it's kind of like a way to hide
like
like
Trump got
what you're
elected.
feeling.
A lot of people are
Yeah.
actually like really freaking out about this, but it's
Yeah,
also probably the biggest meme of this year.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but when the election was going on, like the election night, I was on iFunny, and when Trump got elected, it was just meme after meme after
I
meme.
know.
Oh man, dude.
Same with Twitter, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was just, it's, I don't know, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's just
But the first thing that I retweeted after the election happened was this is the greatest day for Oompa Loompas or something like that.
yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Um, do memes actually alter like our generation's thought process on like political decisions? Like I like Hillary or I like Trump more because of a meme. Like I don't.
One thing I could say here is, I don't know if necessarily memes are the source of that, but just kind of like a lot of way that we use the internet. You know, like over Facebook and stuff like that. You'll see a lot of stuff that would kind of change your views with the whole Joe Biden and Obama thing, you know, I'd see a bunch of stuff in comments that are saying, you know, I don't really like Obama and stuff, but you know, I think he's been a funny president and not too bad, you know, and so I think in a way it kind of does.
Yeah.
They kind of do alter it, and it kind of brings out kind of like more of a funny side to the person that it's going over.
Well, and I was looking at my mom's conversation, and she started arguing with this younger kid. And not gonna lie, my mom's like pretty hardcore liberal. Well, not that hardcore, but she's pretty liberal. And so she was arguing with this hardcore Trump supporter.
Mhm.
And in the middle of their argument, the kid started just posting or just sending her pictures, just memes. Like, and that was his argument. Was
Yeah.
just all these memes. And I was like, dude, like, come on. Like, do you think you would do that too, or like?
If I was trying to argue my point, I don't think that trying to drop memes into the conversation
Yeah, for
would
real.
be a
I
good
don't
way
think
to
so.
go about that. It's like you're trying to have an adult conversation. It's like we do this podcast, and all of a sudden we're just like laughing the entire time, dropping jokes. You know, we're trying to have a
Okay.
conversation. You're trying to, you know, try and
Yeah. Do you
make it
think that
more adult.
memes are making those conversations die in our generation?
Uh, not necessarily. I mean, if you bring it too heavily, sometimes you know, in conversations it can actually carry conversations. It can make conversations better when you bring memes into it. But if you're like hardcore spamming memes in a conversation, it becomes boring, you know.
Kind of like, I know a lot of people have done this where we're like, hey, all of your friend groups, like, hey, you know what? Let's make a chat just for memes, right? I end up muting the meme chat because it's kind of boring and then it dies away
Yeah.
really quickly. We all thought it
Yeah.
was like such a great idea, but since like we're not really sending this information, it kind of just kills the conversation like really fast. Because we all know you didn't make that meme. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, but just back onto that, like, I don't really back to the main question. Does it like really affect our political views or just views on everything? I don't really think that it completely does, but in a sense, it kind of it kind of brings more of a comedic relief to the thing, and just
True.
gives you kind of like, if you're worried about the president, you kind of see stuff, and
You can just laugh at it.
it can be more worrisome sometimes, or it can be less. Like when you see a meme of like the president doing something really stupid, that can be
Yeah,
more
that's true.
worrisome. So it goes both ways, I think. But
Well, and I was thinking about this earlier, where the difference between a meme and then the head of a news article on Facebook, it's like kind of like they're actually really close. Like the news article, especially, is like it's like a picture of the person, right? And they're making a dumb face for whatever reason. Like, let's say you're the conservative Post and you make Hillary making a dumb face, right? And then
Yeah.
you say like Hillary did this and this and this, you know? Or and then it could be the same for like the Democratic Post, like NBC would do the same thing for Trump.
kind of just making him look stupid, like
Well,
taking
yeah, and it's
completely
like
out of context.
yeah, and it's like words. That first title, right, is
Mm.
just words, and then a picture, which is just like a meme. Well, like a little bit older memes, but I mean, still memes. It's just words and a picture. And
Mm.
I feel like too many people, when they go through Facebook and they're scrolling down, they just read that first title and see that first picture, and then they keep scrolling. They don't look into it, or they don't
Yeah,
actually like
it doesn't actually
go
change
into it.
anything. It doesn't get into their head and be like, and also you know, it's kind of like a bigger thing, you know, and like I saw a post where it's like trying to express your political views on on the internet and it shows a guy talking to a wall. You know, it's kind of like it's you can't really change people from saying what you want online.
I feel like
It's
a
really
lot of
true.
people. Sorry, go ahead, Jared. I talked about. Yeah.
I think it's like a lot of people do this, and they do it with like any sort of belief. Really, is that like once somebody has a hardcore belief in something, like trying to change
You
that,
can't change it.
yeah, it's really impossible. Like you can have all of the freaking like evidence to support your claims and whatnot, and they'll just brush it right off because they've already made up their mind. You're not gonna change it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And that ties down with, you know, everything, religion, your favorite like your favorite games, you know, like with the whole Dota 2 and League, you know, you can
Yeah,
say
Yeah.
all you want against like the Dota 2 is like a better game. You could be like Dota 2, blah blah blah. But if you're talking to a hardcore League fan, they'll brush it right off, and vice versa. You know, it just happens with everything
Yeah.
that you can look at passionately and
I think
as like a view.
with the election and memes, I think that it kind of can form early opinions for people that aren't really following the like the actual like
Yeah,
election. Like they just see
that's true.
something that rags on Hillary or on Trump or something, and they're just like, huh, I saw that meme once, and they just automatically
Yeah,
pick a side without actually really having a side.
that's true. They'll
So
see it's like
yeah.
they'll see something on Facebook
Hmm.
and they'll automatically, you know, it's a meme. They'll think it's true. You know, they're like, oh, that must be true, and they don't ever look into it and stuff like that. And you'll see a lot of arguments, kind
Yeah.
of like that over political beliefs.
It's
That they'll
really
just base a bunch of stuff off of that.
it's really cringy to see people like argue over like important stuff like
I
that, but
mean, yeah.
they just have these like yeah like these memes defending them. It's
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
know.
Or even
Yeah,
just like it just sounds so crazy. Like some people literally do just go all this illogical stuff. But I don't know. It could be like I was talking to my calculus teacher, and it's about like he's pretty conservative, and when he talks about like our generation and liberals, he says if you go into college as a conservative, you have no heart. But if you come out of college still as a liberal, then you have no brain. Like
What? That is a
I feel
lie.
like I feel like it's like you have like this like growing mature like because doesn't it like liberal ideas sound great? Like it's like everyone can be happy, everyone has sandwiches, you know, like
yeah. Everyone gets freedom. Like,
I mean, on
yeah.
paper.
On paper it sounds amazing, right? But then you have a brain too. So as you grow older, right? Then you feel like like exactly like you progress the economy or
and then
I'm trying to defend
it,
conservative.
it, it comes it comes it comes with like a problem of how you're actually going to do it. How is this actually going to happen? How is everyone going to be the same? And you can't. It comes back to people's beliefs. You can't change people's beliefs. You know, you try and talk a racist out of being racist. That good luck.
Yeah,
That's the.
that's true.
It's you know it's
Just
you
hope for
talk.
next generation, right?
Yeah, and if like again someone who else is like more kind of more belief in having kind of white supremacy. I'm not trying to offend anybody here, but someone who's like more for white supremacy, they try and talk to somebody about their beliefs. The other person will hate their beliefs like so much, and you just can't change it. You know, there's a lot of hate between people's beliefs, and trying to argue it is sometimes just absolutely useless, and it's kind of a problem.
Yeah, I just also want to say sorry throwing this out away from the conversation, but we're never gonna say things on purpose, like to make offend people. Like if we do offend
Yeah.
you, I'm sorry. Like I don't like that's not.
It goes back to us just me sometimes throwing some memes. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
we're not trying to offend you guys, but we understand that it can be a topic and it can certain things offend people very differently, and so we apologize in advance if that happens.
I mean, like three men can only be so diverse. You know, three
Yeah,
white men from
that's
Utah
true.
can just be
Yeah, that's
so
true.
diverse. You know, so yeah.
Soon come, we'll have an Indonesian.
Yeah, soon. And he's like on the opposite of the world. Like it'll work out so well.
Except for come on, he's a white male
He's
from
still a
Utah.
white guy from Utah.
Yeah,
Though.
in his heart, dude. In his heart.
If we're being real here.
Yeah. Okay. Should we move on to the next topic?
Yeah, let's get out of this meme hole.
Okay. Games. What you want
Okay.
to talk about? League of Legends or Call of Duty?
League.
League
Well,
of Legends.
hold on. Before we go into specific games,
Okay, let's.
okay, all of us have been consumed by video games. Let's just make that completely clear. We've all kind of revolve around video games at different times, at different intensities. But like we get into League and we just play it all day. Or back when I was into Call of Duty, I'd play it all day.
Yeah.
And then there's times you just fall off. And why do you think that video games are just so big for us? Like, why do they take up so much of our time, and why do we care to just keep going back and just wasting our time on these? I don't know about wasting, but
Well, for
using our
me.
time on these video games.
Oh, sorry. So for me, I haven't gotten into a big single player game
Yeah,
since Skyrim, and that's it. Like
that's true.
I couldn't even play Fallout 4. I bought Far Cry and I couldn't get into it. Like I played it, sure, but I couldn't really get into it. So I feel like the thing
Yeah.
that keeps bringing me back to video games is so I can play with you guys because like
The
all my friends are
communication with
playing
your
video
friends.
games and
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
think,
true.
like-
That's true.
for me, like I'm exactly the same way. Like these single player games, I see them like for instance Dishonored. I bought it like so quickly, and then I still haven't beat it. And the same thing with all of the freaking like Arkham Batman games. Still haven't. I bought all those and I still haven't beat any of them.
Well, and they're not bad
Yeah,
games
they're
now.
not.
They're not.
And
It's the thing. It's
the
just
thing that
yeah.
just brings me like always coming back to League is to play with
With
you
each
guys.
other.
Like I hardly ever
Each
play
other,
alone.
yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Like you'll get on League. Like I don't know about you guys, but like I'll get on League, nobody's on, and you'll just sit there and like wondering what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I'm
for
like, I
real.
could
Because,
go
like-
into a normal game with randoms and just want to.
Oh, cringe,
and that's
dude.
the worst. It's the worst experience.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
it's like
And
I'm
you
not
just
gonna lie,
want
dude.
somebody to get on.
Yeah, like League's not. I wish I never started playing League. I wish our friend group didn't start playing League. Wish we played something else. Because
I mean,
there's
then that would come around again, though.
Overwatch.
That would come around again, though. If we're all playing Overwatch, the exact same thing.
yeah, all right.
Eventually, we'll get to the point where we're like, I wish we didn't start playing Overwatch, and that's just the video game thing. You waste so much time in it
That's
for
true.
kind of like useless. It's kind of useless in a way. It's not. I'm not gonna say that it's all bad.
You know,
There are
how
some-
about we just all get together and just play Monopoly every day?
yeah, God, dude,
I mean, honestly,
I can see it.
coming together with a bunch of friends and playing some board games honestly wouldn't be bad. It comes down to the same thing. You're having entertainment while doing something, interacting with friends.
Yeah.
And like sitting here and talking with you guys, this is pretty much the same. I could do this very often. It's fun. It's a fun experience.
We can do the same
Interacting
thing
with-
playing League, except for to be screaming every 5 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, and that kind of brings me to another topic. Why do video games make us so mad?
So
You
mad.
know,
The
yeah, so
competition.
mad.
It's definitely
It's-
competition. Like we want to
competition.
win.
That's true.
There's incentive to win. In the end, we can get either LP or IP, or just like pride. Really, there's
Yeah.
incentive to win. You want to get that blue victory screen. And,
For
That's
me-
true.
and when you don't,
God.
you rage.
That's true.
For me, I get this like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a really insecure person. And for me, dude, I hate it when I die and I just think in the other person's head that I just died to. They're like, this effing moron, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, and I get mad.
I don't
about it.
I don't think about that. I definitely don't think about it.
Or when I think like when I'm playing with you guys and I'm just 0-5 top lane and we lose the game because of it, like there's a
Oh, yeah.
sense of responsibility that you,
Yeah,
your
no,
team.
yeah, for sure. I feel that. I
and then
definitely
you
feel
fail it and it's like, oh, God, dude, it kills me.
that. Yeah, for sure.
Especially when it's like repetitive, like losing streaks are just the worst. I go to
Losing
bed so
streaks,
mad.
death streaks.
Losing
Yeah,
streaks don't get me.
going to bed after a terrible game is absolutely the worst experience.
Yeah.
Like,
I just
definitely,
think
it's
about all
terrible.
night, like, oh, why didn't I
What
flash
could you have
here?
done? Yeah, what could
Damn.
you have done?
For me, I'm not gonna lie, it's like I get tilted, right? But have this like big blast that I'm angry for like 3 seconds, and then it's gone. Like I'm not angry for like a long
That's
period
not
of
me.
time.
I
That's my
stay
problem.
angry.
I stay angry
I
too.
I used to have when I was playing Call of Duty a lot. I lived down in my basement. I'd get really mad and I'd punch my cement walls.
I remember.
And then okay, and eventually like I got to the point where my hands they hurt so bad when I'd move them. And then we ended up getting a punching bag, and sometimes I'd get really mad and I just get up, leave the game, and just go punch on my punching bag, and it helps relieve a lot. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird to think that like you could just get that mad over something that seems so simple.
Yeah. I
And,
think it's interesting to think even like League. Like when my dad would come downstairs and he's watching me play League, he's like, "All you're doing is clicking the mouse 100,000 times." But and even then, the concept does seem really easy. You got like 4 buttons and then a trinket and then some items, and you just use those buttons and there's this limited of time you can have them. One of them, ult. Like some champions, like some people are like Malphite, and they never ult, like, and you lose the game because of what I'm saying. They only have to press 3 buttons.
And
Anyway.
that's one thing that annoys me too. That makes me so mad when like an adult for doing like playing video games and they're like, "Why are you doing this? It's so useless," and they just don't understand. And that makes me angrier than anything,
Yeah, that gets me annoyed when my parents are like, "Couldn't you be doing something more interesting?" Honestly, I have this problem with my parents sometimes when it comes down to like me and my brother, and because my brother like he does good in school too, and he goes like and plays football, and he runs, and I remember I used to do those things too, but my parents they think that I stopped doing those because of video games, or like they hate that I'm always playing video games. So I have this insecurity with him, and they're always like, oh my gosh, Meeko's still playing video games. And like when they're partying too, like they'll have a bunch of friends over and they'll be hanging out, and like Cameron would be able to join him. Cameron would be like hanging out with him and cracking jokes, but I couldn't do it. I would have to like be in my own room playing League with you guys, Like I'd prefer to do that than hang out with a bunch of drunks. Like,
for sure. No, I understand. And it comes back down to just social interaction with people that you want to interact with.
Yeah, that's true too. Do you think it affects school? Like when you go to school, are you more shy because of video games? Would you say that?
I don't know. I think maybe in a sense, kind of.
I think that really varies on the person.
Yeah,
I was thinking it was like, it's a stereotype because a lot of people that are kind of socially awkward, they play video games, but they don't play it like how we play it, where we play with our friends all the time. They're playing those solo games. They're playing, Minecraft and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
no offense to Minecraft.
No offense to Minecraft players, but we know you guys. Like I try. I'd be nice to you guys. Like I'm never like super rude, but you're introverted. Some people are introverted and proud. Like it's totally.
And we've been there too. We've been there too. So we're not trying to like.
Yeah.
We've all been there. I remember those days back when I'd play the good old Minecraft, and
dude.
I felt that way too. And
I was the kid that brought a laptop to school, dude. Oh man, just to play Minecraft, dude. That was so cringy, dude.
Wait, did you actually do that?
Yeah, it was like before I was friends with you.
That's cool.
It was like when Daniel and I were like best friends.
I brought a laptop to school when I was pre-college. I would have been executed on the spot.
Oh god. Well, it was like I was like 13, dude. And I remember like at the time I didn't like think like people were staring at me, and I thought that they were just jealous that I had my laptop.
Yeah.
Looking at it now, it's like, dude, they were staring at me because I'm cringy, dude. Like this.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm guilty of that. Like people who I knew one kid that brought a laptop to school and played some racing game, and I just like would make fun of him and stuff. Yeah, he honestly could have beat the crap out of me though.
Dude.
He was like older than me.
Uh, well, yeah. We're good to go next topic.
Yeah, I think we can move on. We didn't actually talk about specific games, but that doesn't really matter. We covered pretty decent.
Well, we're running
think
a little low on time.
Yeah, we can move on for sure.
Okay. Do you want to go to movies, shows, or politics? I feel like we kind of covered politics pretty well.
Yeah,
so.
we kind of did.
Let's hit shows.
Shows?
Okay.
What do you guys think of The Walking Dead, huh? It's pretty popular. Everyone's watching.
I like it. I actually really like it. It gets you engaged with the characters really well, I feel like.
Yeah.
I
And-
have a lot of mixed feelings about Walking Dead because I've been watching it since like so long. Probably like
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah.
right when it came out, but it was probably when season 2 came out.
Uh-huh.
And so like I've just been watching it forever, and
You're like
I really-
attached now.
Yeah, and there's so many things I hate about it, but I just gotta keep watching it. It's like addictive,
Yeah.
but you also like
Yeah.
oh.
Okay, let's try and keep this spoiler free too. Let's try and keep it
Okay,
as
okay.
spoiler free as we possibly can.
But no promises.
one
Should we say no promises
yeah.
too?
Yeah, no promises. One thing about it though, one thing about The Walking Dead is I feel like, this is me personally, it's really, really, really repetitive. And that's what happens honestly with a lot of TV shows that go like 5+ seasons is, with The Walking Dead, it honestly, it's not about like
Is he
it's
cutting out
about
for you too, Jared?
Yeah,
You just
Okay,
let it
wait, can
calm
you hear
down
me?
for a second.
I think it's okay now.
I think we're good now. Yeah.
Okay. So what I was saying is it's really repetitive and it's not really about zombies anymore. Like
It's really not like it used to be. Like,
it's about
oh man,
it's
there's
about
zombies.
somebody comes and they wreak havoc, with the governor, with Negan, just all these terrible, and it just comes to that. Like it's not really about surviving the zombies anymore. It's surviving against other people, and it just happens every single time. When somebody else dies, another bad guy comes to take the place.
Yeah,
it's
that's
Yeah, there really is a
repetitive.
cycle.
yeah.
it's
Well, I hate how I don't understand how you guys even got addicted or attached in the first place. Because like the first 2-3 seasons, dude, they're so cringy, dude. They're like, I feel like they're like so like like bad horror films. I feel like that's exactly how it was made. Like it was just made just like it, dude.
I think some
And-
of the acting does get like a little crazy, like especially
It
with
does.
the male actors for some reason. They all whisper. Like not all of them, I guess, but
Yeah.
especially Rick and Shane. They just they always talk
Shane.
like this.
He made me cringe a lot. But at
I
the
like
same time, he brought
I like
a lot
Shane
of
acting. That's funny.
he brought a lot of emotion to it.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say he brought a lot of emotion to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's good, but at the same time, like it's just I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Like the emotion's good, but sometimes it's too much. Like it's forced.
Yeah, I can see that. Or like Merle and Daryl, those actors,
Yeah,
I
that
feel
was
like they're
good.
pretty solid. Yeah, those guys are
Yeah,
pretty
they were
solid.
really good.
That was a good duo.
Daryl's
But,
to
like-
this day, like he's been solid throughout the entire show. He's a really good actor. Rick is decent, but there's just times where he kind of goes on those sprees where he just not really.
Well, and it's funny too when he goes on those sprees. It's not like a scenes. It's like episodes where he has
Yeah.
bad sprees,
yeah,
and every once in a while, like he'll kick in. He'll actually be.
and
good.
that's not exactly his fault because there was a little bit of time throughout. I forget what season where they kind of portrayed him like really bad.
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
The
Like-
Richter shit,
and-
they were calling it.
Yeah,
He was like
and
straight up evil.
yeah, and it's just like that kind
Like,
of like paved the way the rest of the shows. And it's like you kind of still every time you see him, you kind of still go back to that, and it kind of changed it a lot for me, and it kind of made me like not really care for the Rick, and it also kind of just brings a little bit more of the cringe. But I don't know. That's just me. I don't know.
I think there's been
Yeah.
like a substantial amount of more cringe in this new town that they're in with the people that have just like never seen the zombies before. And,
Yeah.
Like the Denise chick, I wanted to kill myself. I'm so glad that she died.
Okay.
And who's that other chick?
Like we said, no promises about the spoilers, guys.
Okay,
Yeah,
nobody
no
cares about
promises.
Denise. and then the freaking what's her face? The lesbian. I don't remember her name.
The lesbian.
Yeah, the lesbian. She's
Well,
really cringy.
Oh,
Too.
yeah, I know who you're talking about. She
we're
had like a
also
whole
Yeah,
episode.
I can't remember her name for some reason.
It's like terrible.
we
Tara.
keep
Tara has
bashing
a
on.
name to be.
Terrible,
Tara's
terrible.
It's really
We keep.
ironic.
I feel like we keep bashing on these actors too for being bad actors, but sometimes it's like if you think about
It's
it,
not their fault.
like
at some
sometimes the
points.
screenwriting and the directing, like
Yeah.
how is Rick supposed to do that? Like you know
Yeah,
he
that's
can't
true.
do that.
And it's like the same with horror movies. You know, it's the same with horror movies. So many of them are just cringe central. Because how are you gonna make an actually good horror movie? You know, you have to add some sort of emotionally structured, like you have to make the whole plot emotionally structured, and it's just it's really hard to do because you're trying to add emotion after emotion on emotion.
I feel like horror should. I feel like the best horror that we're going to be seeing for a long time is the older American Horror Story. Because
I never watched them.
Me neither.
oh well, it's just I feel like it's just the idea of it was so pretty well done. Because I feel like the one thing that I have a problem with horror movies is that they do good on jump scares, sure, dude. And
Yeah,
I can
that's
go
true.
by
They
the
get you.
bad acting, you know, and sometimes it does get your heart pumping.
I think
But
Yeah.
they need a storyline that is not cringy,
Yeah,
you
that is
know.
not absolutely.
Or also like I'm kind of done with all the satanic stuff. Like I've
yeah.
seen it
Yeah,
17,000
that and
times.
like hack and slash type things. You know,
Yeah,
like
like I don't like why don't you just
it's
make like
just nothing's
actually
different.
or you can actually do like disturbing scary, you know, like make an actually like disturbing idea and keep and have it flow with characters and how it affects the characters. You don't have to keep making it for like scare us. Make it like cool storyline and you actually enjoy the movie while you're
Yeah.
getting scared.
Yeah,
But
That's like what I really liked about Stranger Things is like it's
yeah.
it's spooky
I
and
haven't seen
you
it.
don't know anything about it. Like it's so confusing. You don't know what's happening. And then like
Yeah.
the more you learn about it, you're like, "Oh, this is spooky stuff."
Yeah.
Did you ever watch like any of the Scream movies?
No.
I think it's like one of the better cases for horror movies. Like the first one's really good.
wait, what is it?
The Scream
Scream.
movies.
Oh, Scream.
Yeah.
It's good, but it comes back down to like the cringy act.
I mean it's older, so it's good for its time.
It's older.
Like, everything in that
There
time
is some
was
cringe,
like
but it's like it's
If you watch
it's
stuff, if you
necessary,
watch
I think.
other horror films from that time era, just you'll appreciate Scream that much more. No.
should we go to a new topic?
Sure. We still got
We got YouTube and swearing. What you want to do?
Let's just do YouTube for now. I think we'll leave swearing for a different one.
Okay.
Um,
So YouTube. How is it broken, Jared? Is it
well,
broken?
YouTube. I don't know if you guys like follow up on other YouTubers because a million people have talked about this before, but like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
there's
It's
just
everywhere.
so many problems with YouTube, and they're slowly trying to fix it. Like for instance, there was a huge problem with copyright strike things where
Yeah,
people would
I remember
falsely
that. That was terrible.
copyright strike and
Yeah.
claim all the early money and stuff. And once the strike was removed, they wouldn't get any of the money. The people who struck it got to keep it all. They finally got rid of that. Where,
That's good.
And if the person and whoever like wins the dispute gets the money, which was like something that Grade A Under A I think proposed, and they actually went through with it. And so I was just so glad they did that because it's so stupid how people are just taking advantage of creators like that. Like
Yeah,
it even
for
happened
sure.
to
And
me. Like,
especially yeah, like
like
young, like us, like smaller, like small YouTubers, that people would just take advantage of them like hard.
yeah, I have a channel and I posted a video that was Trump related when the when Trump was elected, and it was just instantly claimed because it had some stuff in it, even though it was fair use. So thanks to YouTube's new system, I got to keep all the money once the dispute finally ended. So I was
That's
happy
good.
about that.
Sorry about that.
Anyways, yeah, YouTube problem right now. Like the biggest problem right now is they're just
Subbox. The
yeah,
YouTube
like
subbox and
they're
stuff.
just having all these weird changes, and we don't know if they're changes or glitches or anything because YouTube is not talking, and that's like my biggest
Yeah.
problem. YouTube is not
And
telling the creators what they're doing.
and also one thing that kind of bugs me is like this whole YouTube rewind thing came, and like it wasn't like they couldn't have talked to like YouTube about that or anything while they were there filming for him. I don't understand that too much. But I mean, I don't know.
Well, we don't even understand like how YouTube works, and I feel like it's kind of hard because it's getting into that shady area where it's like this public slash private domain, you know, and it's this problem on the internet that's kind of been rising and falling and going through because it's like you make stuff on YouTube, and you like all these people have livings off of YouTube, right? And then you go there for entertainment and you watch all their stuff, and but they're not working for YouTube. They're their own private. Each channel's like their own
Yeah.
private thing. But then again, like YouTube's its own private thing. So like they don't let they.
It's got a lot of shade to it. You know, it's like it's like looking down like a dark hallway. You see a bit, but then you can't make out what at the end.
Well, I feel like it's too gray. Like I feel like people keep saying like they want it like accusations, right? They're not saying this exactly, but they're saying accusations that they want it to be more public acting, you know. But then you also get people that you also have to understand that it is a business, right? Like they're just trying to make money, so that it's private instead, you know. So it's kind of in this gray understanding. It's not black, it's not white. It's in this in-between area. And how the U.S. government works is it doesn't really have this solution for this gray area quite yet, especially for the internet and YouTube because of how new it is, you know?
It's new, it's developing. It's developing really fast.
Well,
Every
that
day
and
it's
like
developing.
That and our government, like all the people that make all the rules and laws, right? They're not in our generation. They don't watch YouTube.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah,
understand.
that's true.
They don't. I feel like they might not even understand like what's even going on in this whole world, like this underworld that they're not even seeing.
Yeah.
And YouTube
And-
says this, or some like a songwriter says this, and this person says that, and they just have to go with it. You know, like.
Yeah, there's so many people in like the older generations that just don't even like understand how big like YouTube is. Like some of these creators on YouTube are making so much more money than people that are like on TV. Yet everybody knows who the people who are on TV are and stuff. Like like it's so crazy that people from TV are coming to YouTube and stuff.
Yeah. That's
like
true.
you see that the front page of YouTube is like if you're not signed in, like I'm just gonna test this out really quick. I'm gonna create an incognito. Go to youtube.com.
Listeners too, you can do this as well. Just check it out.
All right, so first off, it's just Saturday Night Live, BuzzFeed, and the Late Night Show, and
it kind of goes down to like I think what H3H3 was trying to cover, and how like people are probably paying off YouTube to try and promote their channels. You know,
I feel like that's a good idea, but another theory that I kind of could also see is that people that don't have a YouTube account, they're going onto their phone, and what are they looking up? They're looking up the older parts of YouTube, like those TV shows, those funny little clips of like a kid falling over, you know, like they're not watching the subscriptions like all of us do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why all of that is recommended for your this blank sheet user, supposedly, that doesn't have an account.
You know and that's a problem, and it like one thing is it like kind of blocks a way for new YouTubers to form. and it's kind of like you look at this, you get on, what do you see? You see celebrities, you see all this other stuff, and it kind of blocks you away from searching some stuff and looking for new content that could be created. And I think that's definitely a problem, and I think that there should be more option to be able for smaller YouTubers to be able to grow and to be able to reach their dreams and accomplish what they want from YouTube.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, YouTube is not what it used to be. Like, YouTube back in the day, like, 6 years ago maybe, at the earliest, latest, whatever. That like back then, almost anyone could like start a channel and get famous. Now it's like so hard because of how the algorithms work and stuff. Like, you have to get views instantly to get recommended
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, starting out now, it's just so impossible. Like, we might not see any like brand new YouTubers like anytime soon. It's crazy.
Well, I feel like YouTube's, instead of playing the late game with its own users and stuff, it's taking the safe bet, which I can
Yeah.
understand, and it's taking the late game with already large businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
It's always about money.
you could stay with all of your new YouTubers and your own kind of pool of what YouTube has created, and it's your own thing, which would be cool and bad A. But you could also make a lot of money and be really safe and always make a lot of money. Like, these businesses are always going to be around. And these businesses are always going to be absolutely ginormous, especially compared to like other guys like H3H3. Like our generation, everyone knows who H3H3 is in our generation.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
compared to Pixar, like it's a
Yeah.
joke.
Like YouTube is actually operating like at a loss. They're not making as much money as they're spending, so they have really no other choice but to take the sponsors from Saturday Night Live and Jimmy Kimmel and
Yeah.
BuzzFeed stuff and put them on the front.
And
shelf.
also trying to get that like YouTube Red kind of shoved down our
Yeah.
throats. They really have to. And honestly, it's not a bad thing, because if YouTube fails, then how that's going to be so bad for everyone who relies on it. Like the big YouTubers and even the small YouTubers who just go on for enjoyment, trying to, just trying to bring their views out and trying to just entertain some people. And it could be really bad. And so they're trying to save themselves with this stuff. And I don't think it's all bad, but I don't think what a lot of the stuff they're doing is good. But it just kind of goes both ways, I think.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we have been talking
Yeah.
for quite a long time now,
Mm.
and probably should start wrapping stuff up.
How about we just have our last topic be our outro?
Okay.
How should we do our outro, you guys? I don't know if the listeners, you need to know this is our very first podcast. We're kind of going into this with our ideas that we came up like 10 minutes before the podcast.
Yeah, we've been trying to plan this for the past couple of days, but
really the last 10 minutes before this podcast were the most productive. But
Yeah.
so our last topic is going to be on our outro. What do you think it should be, Jared? Because you make videos.
our outro.
Yep.
See you guys.
See you, nerds.
Just keep it simple. I think we should just wrap it up. Just thank you guys for watching. We're gonna try and keep this. We're gonna try and keep this as much on a schedule as we can. Try and get one out every week.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that goes. But I hope you guys found some enjoyment from this, and I hope you guys can come back and see us next time.
Yeah,
And-
and just expect more. We're gonna have more people usually, and we're probably gonna be pulling some guests too, and
Let's.
have them share their stuff.
We should have a date too.
Should be
Should we
fun
have
stuff.
like a specific day that we're doing this? Just try and do one
I
every.
don't know. We'll figure that
Let's-
out. We'll
let's
figure
not
that
stick
out.
to
Later.
that right now, but
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
anyways,
well-
yeah. Thanks for watching or listening, I should say. Make sure to just check out our stuff. I'm Spintwist Videos. Spencer is It's Penja. If I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we will see you next week.